Hello everybody and welcome back to the stream. It is week 2 of Nano. I am a long way behind. How are you doing out there? I find it hard to kind of quantify how far behind I am because it's an editing project and editing just goes slower. But there may come a point where I just hit my stride and it'll move a lot faster than a writing project. I don't know. I've never edited a thesis before. Oh, hello. Hey, Claude. How are you? How are you doing today? What are you working on this morning? And how has Nano gone for you so far? Pretty consistent so far at 14K. Wow, that is good. You are well on your way. 14K. If you do another 3 weeks like that, you have it in the bag and then some. I am in awe of your competence and productivity. How's the experience of it going for you? Are you feeling like, is it the same story that you started out with? Have you discovered anything as you've written, or are you more of a plotter that kind of had an outline before you started? I was interested to hear about other people's process. Even though I'm not doing creative writing at the moment, it is something that I do when I have time. And I'm not chained to giant projects. I do like to write creatively. I tend to be a total pantser. I make it up as I go along, and then have to go back afterwards and go, structure, add structure somehow. Yeah, this morning I am looking at. Oh, wait. It's a new novel. I decided to do Nano on October 30th. Lol. Oh, that's amazing. So you just 2 days notice, you're like, Nano, gonna do it, gonna rock it. Normally I outline. For this one I am pantsing, so some scenes are harder to figure out. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, sometimes the disadvantage of the pantsing is that you can end up writing yourself into a corner, or you end up kind of going, and needing to go back and add something. So yeah, but I think I just like the way that it can lead to sort of a smooth trajectory of character development. I know some people can do that with beats and outlines, but the way my brain works, at least, it's easier if I'm sort of figuring it out at the same time. So what's it like? What's it like writing something that isn't your normal process? Changing the way that you write can be quite tricky sometimes. It looks like word count wise, you're doing really well. This seems to be working for you. Is it very different to how you would normally write? Have you done previous nanos? Oops. All right. Just still doing a little adjustment here this morning. Ugh, my face. Having a little bit of an acne situation today. This lighting always makes me very, very aware of it. But yeah, well, trials and tribulations we all have to go through. So it's my first Nano. I did and failed camp this year. Do Nano yourself? New novel or continuation of another? So I'm in an unusual position in that I haven't I've never completed Nano. I have attempted Nano. It was a long time ago. It did not work out. Didn't get it finished. But this year, I just kind of not too dissimilar to yourself. I kind of started it on the spur of the moment, but in a very different way. I am hardcore nano rebelling it up. I am writing a thesis, or I was writing a thesis. I am now editing a thesis. I had my viva voce thesis defense, whatever you call it, where you're from, the bit where you have written a giant postgrad thing, and then you go and talk to some experts in a room, and they ask you lots of complicated questions, and then they either tell you you've passed outright or that you have some corrections to do. And I had some corrections to do. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm using this month to turn the thesis that is kind of not quite there yet into a thesis that is there yet, and hopefully 2 scientific publications. Fingers crossed. So it is not as creative as your usual Nano. And part of the reason I'm doing these writing streams is to kind of keep myself going, because there are parts of this process that are deadly boring. It's kind of going back and going, okay, I need a table with a list of all of the papers that are in this literature review, and they've got to have these bits of information from each paper, and some kind of numbers and stats, and it's a bit dull. The subjects of the papers are kind of interesting, but a lot of the interesting stuff is stuff that I've kind of already done, and this is more of the kind of nitpicky, edity stage. Great idea. Good luck. Thank you. How do you count words, if you do at all? Do you use the website to update your progress? Yes, I do. How I'm doing it is basically, it's not exactly bang on for equivalent. So the thesis isn't in its entirety is 40,000 words. So what I'm doing is as I'm going through, if I have cleared an amount of words in that I have read through them, I have made all the corrections that need to be made, this bit is done and I don't need to go back to it, I am counting that bit as done. Likewise, if I add a lot of stuff, if I, like at the moment I'm writing a table and adding information into that, and I'm counting those as additional words. It's not exactly bang on, but the word count isn't exactly bang on for Nano, so it'll probably work out at the end. I'll round it up and say I've done it if I actually complete the thing, regardless of whether I've hit the thing or not, because it's my project is this big. This is how big my project is. I can't go over certain word counts. And I need to check what the word count for chapter 2 is, because that kind of is a journal based thing. They won't accept things over a certain length, and it's likely to be shorter than what I currently have. So but I do have the website. I am Jack Boyer and Writes on the website, so if you want to come and buddy up with me, you would be very welcome. And yeah, you will see if you do that I am a long way behind. So long behind. Oh God, I hope that you can't hear the construction work that's going on outside. It's quite loud. Let me just turn this around. What I did for word count while editing in the past, was time worked on the project converted to words. I gave myself 12 words per minute to be on scale with my drafting rhythm. Oh, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I think Camp Nano has some interesting conversions like that. What's your handle there for buddies? Yeah, I'll drop my link. That's probably the easiest. It is the same as my YouTube ish. So let me just NanoWrimo. Link. Oh, Discord, stop putting up things. Discord handles getting in the way. There we go. That is me. Connection's fairly good. Yeah. Sorry, it was my StreamYard was making noises about the connection, but it then when I moused over it, it was like, oh, the connection's fairly good, and I'm like, StreamYard, you do not need to tell me that. That is not a thing that I need to know. Stop. Anyway, I have rambled a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to start with a short sprint so that we can all get settled in, get drink, snack, files open, everything ready. 10 minutes to just settle in and be ready to actually get down to business. Do let me know if that noise is a problem, because it's starting to be a problem for me. I'll only be able to do one sprint. After that, job calls. Okay, do you want to do 25 minutes to start then? Because I'm happy to go straight into the long sprints if you want to, buddy. Just pulling up video file. Yeah. Yeah. If we got one sprint, I figure. Yeah. Barely hear the noise. It's fine. Can't do more than 15. Okay. Let's do what I was planning to then. Let's grab the 10-minute timer. And I'll see you on the other side. Hooray! And we are back. How did you do? Sorry, accidentally removed myself there. There we go. That's a little bit better. How did you do this sprint? I mostly just dealt with practical matters. Got some antihistamines, got myself some food. 194 words. Well done. You see, this is why you're at 14K. And I am at like 1. Well done. That sounds really good. Yeah, I just started actually getting back to doing some proper writing at the very end of that 10 minutes there. It was, yeah, there was a lot of shuffling and organization and stuff that I should probably do before I turn on the stream, to be honest. Yeah. Last night was weird. I didn't get very much sleep. I was up really late the night before on Kibby Rosalind's birthday stream. And I was like, oh, that's great. That means that I will get to sleep early. So I went to bed early and then stared at the ceiling for like 5 hours. Yeah. Really sucked. And in the middle of that, Korn, the band, suddenly went live out of nowhere, playing a noise with some mysterious things. So, of course, then I had to find out what that was. It was a tour announcement. It was cool, but they're not coming to my country, and it took a surprisingly long time for the stream to figure out that they were just doing a 5-second loop, and they were just going to do a 5-second loop indefinitely. I think the stream is actually still going. The information is in the description, but if you're looking at it on mobile, you can't see the description. You just see the chat going, "What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?" Claude says, "I can relate to that. Yeah, it sucks. Those random sleepless nights are the worst. Yeah. I've always had quite a lot of them. That's just unfortunately how I am built. It's interesting. Part of the thesis I'm writing is sleep research and looking at sleep in children and how likely sleep problems are to persist. And it turns out I'm roughly in the minority of people who kind of just keep having sleep problems all the way through. Most babies get over it, but yeah, my parents have told me in the course of writing this thesis that I was an actual nightmare as a very small child. I would just wake up at like 2 in the morning and be like, "Playtime now. Pay attention to me. Pay attention." Yeah. And now I don't even have any. I can't even bother anybody. I'm just bothering myself. Sometimes I get up, but unfortunately, if I do, it's very likely that I'll stay up until 8 in the morning. And if I stay up until 8 in the morning, then my whole schedule is off. So it's tricky. It's tricky. Okay. Well, I'm all settled and ready to do things. And Claude, I think you're about to leave us. Ooh. Minor cycle, you say. Some weeks go well, half of them are at least not. Yeah. Yeah. Swings and roundabouts. I think in all of my adult life, I slept well about 6 months. It was my first job. Well, Claude says he's leaving. Good luck for your thesis and for Nano. Have a great day. Well, I hope you have a great day as well, Claude. And maybe I will see you in someone else's writing stream later in the day once you are done with the day job things. Yeah, I was saying I was in my first job, which was an acute psychiatric ward, which was quite full on as jobs go, and I think I was just sort of saying what was happening, and I needed more sleep for that. And then 6 months in, I just got used to it, and that became normal. And then I couldn't sleep again. Only time in my life that I remember most of my dreams as well. Most of the time, I just pass out for a few hours, and I don't remember my dreams well at all. Given that most of my dreams during that period of my life were, I mean, probably unsurprisingly, given the environment I was in, it was recurring nightmares about being sectioned under the Mental Health Act. I can't say that I'm super bothered by the lack of that in my life. Yeah. And on that awkward note, I am going to try and get a bit of actual productivity done, and for that, I will need 25-minute sprint. Okay. So, anybody still waiting? Off you go. Someone
How do you get it to stop?
got to mute. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Suddenly, it's a stream party.
How do you get it to stop?
Got to mute. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Suddenly, Hi, Kibby. You're gonna need to mute the stream in the background because I can hear myself and everything on a lag. That is why I've just muted you temporarily. But
no, I had
hey,
honey, it's 6:30 a.m. for me. I woke up, I looked at YouTube, and that's what happened. I had two windows open.
yeah, no, that is absolutely fine. I am very grateful for all of the watch time I am getting. It's not like I ever want to monetize, but like the numbers make the happy brain chemicals.
I agree.
I should not do YouTube. Anyway, welcome back, everybody, to the break, and welcome to the stream. Two special guests. So we have Kibby Roseland. You want to introduce yourself, Kibby?
Sure. My name is Kibby Roseland. I am a psychic and a writer. My channel is Kibby Roseland. I also just recently woke up, so forgive me on doing this on the fly. There I am.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, my name's Kibby Roseland. I'm a psychic and a writer. I do YouTube streams Monday and Wednesdays. Monday in the morning, Wednesdays at night. Come and check me out. Like and subscribe. I do the same thing as Jack does, just with a lot more energy usually because, yeah, I just woke up.
That is fair. I'm very happy that you've come to join us this morning. And we also have... It's a Sako!
Howdy. Yay! Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voight. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey, Cass Voight. And it's not just me talking, it's a bunch of other author tubers as well who have something to say on the topic. So you should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Woo! Yeah. I am a big fan of Sako's things. I've been watching for a long time. One of the people who actually inspired me to get into this this strange thing that we are doing.
Y'all didn't tell me there was a dress code.
There's a dress code?
Oh, we're wearing the same color.
Really? Did you two plan this? So I'd be sitting out here in
not
all
at all.
black and
I'm in green. It's just not showing up very well in this light.
No, you're both wearing green. It's the same
Yeah,
color.
yeah. Ah, might be my screen settings. Yeah, no, psychic
Really?
switchboard.
Psychic switchboard, yeah.
I wasn't on
Yeah.
it today.
You were asleep.
I was out. I slept for 12 hours.
That's it's
I
fair.
fell asleep yesterday at like 6:37, and I didn't move until I realized that the sun hadn't come up yet, and it'd probably been a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, no, I just made my blinds so they were blackout drapes.
Oops.
No, waking up this morning was a little bit difficult, but I'm
Yeah.
here.
I had kind of the opposite problem. Sleeping was the problem.
Right.
I was like, I've been to a late night party. I've only had 4 hours of sleep. It should be easy to go to sleep. It was not easy to go to sleep. It was like 5 hours staring at the ceiling.
Do you take melatonin?
Nope.
You should try taking melatonin.
It's prescription only here. I am already on controlled drugs for other things, so I don't want to.
We can buy it.
I get nervous about asking for more drugs because that tends to.
Melatonin. This is the one thing. I don't take it regularly, but on those nights where I can't get to sleep, this is the thing that puts me to sleep. And it's a natural substance. It's not like
I absolutely
another
I absolutely understand the concept, but I try to avoid asking for any additional medication
else.
just in
Well, that's
case they
surprising.
start getting spooked by me.
That's surprising that you have to get a prescription for that in the UK for melatonin.
I'm not in the UK.
Oh, sorry. In
But
Ireland.
in Ireland, I don't know what the UK situation is, but yeah, the US has much looser regulations on food, anything it considered as a food supplement or supplements in general. In the EU, it tends to be a lot tighter.
EU. That's what you said. EU.
Yeah,
European Union.
European Union. Yeah,
European
that's the
Union.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got extra complicated now. The UK isn't in the EU, but Northern Ireland is in the UK, but is also subject to EU regulations because there's a porous border here. It's all
Oh no, where'd he
it's
go?
all a little bit.
Oh.
Oh no. Jack, you froze. There he goes.
Hello.
There you
Yeah,
are.
hello. All right.
Hello, I'm back. Yeah, there's two Wi-Fi's here, and one of them's slightly better than the other, but the other one is the one that the printer is on, so sometimes I end up stuck in the wrong one. We have some people in the chat.
Yeah.
Yay! I mean, one of them is you.
And me.
Being ominous. I had the "you will be found" thing going on in my head, but then Christina comes in with a dun dun dun, making it a little bit more ominous.
Good morning, Christina.
Yeah, Kibi came in then, and there's a bit of logistics going on. And then we have Laurel. Hey, Laurel.
Yeah.
Laurel got 103 words in the last few minutes there. That's great. Well done. It's more than I got.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we got CB is here. Welcome to the chat, CB. 294 words, and I got here about halfway through. Now that's just showing off. Well done. Well done. Looks like you're being super productive. CB says, confirm melatonin is restricted in the UK. I just checked. Yeah.
I can't believe that. That to me, like that's one of those substances that should be readily available. It's a natural substance.
Yeah, there were some problems, I think, not with melatonin specifically, but tryptophan, which is related. And people got a neurological condition.
We had that same problem.
Yeah, it was the one that happened to you guys. That was, once something like that happens, tends to be we tend to be slower to open it up over here.
Yeah, they're a little bit more stringent when it comes to locking things down like that.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
We've got more people. Hello,
oh,
Andrea. I don't think I've seen you on stream before. Hello. Just arrived, so no words. Well, that is absolutely okay.
That's all that matters.
You're here. There will be more sprints. There will be more words. Christina says, I have wake me up before you go.
You wake up before you go. Hanging on like a yo-yo.
I will remind you all that this is Kibi at low energy. Yeah, supplemented my coffee till I got some coffee, and now my kitchen is clean, so yay, wham. Awesome.
Wham.
Yeah, Andrea is in Chile, and melatonin is available at Natural Pharmacy. Yeah. Well, I'll have to remember to pick some up if I'm ever in Chile or in the US.
When you come over here, you're gonna come over with melatonin, right? That's your goal.
Yeah. That and quadding.
Like, I'm going over there for absinthe. You're coming over here for melatonin. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah, we'll get you some poaching and see how it compares to moonshine.
Absinthe makes you hallucinate, doesn't it?
Not
It can.
anymore, really.
What is it? Is it
It's
from
wormwood.
the worm?
It's the wormwood.
It's the wormwood. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think either it's a lot more strictly regulated than it used to be, which I think it is, or you really have to drink a lot of it. I've had absinthe. I've
And
never
that.
seen anything weird.
I saw weird stuff, and I was drunk off my ass
That sounds like fun.
in New Orleans during Mardi
theory.
Gras.
Huh?
That is the time to see weird stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
it
you
was
see
pretty
weird
great.
stuff there, even if you aren't on anything.
And I had a boyfriend at the time who was with me, and I basically would like see stuff and be like, "Ooh," and carry on, and then he would run behind me and like buy it.
Oh, that's so nice.
Never mind that it's like a $350 mask. Like,
Ooh. You're like me. You go in, and the most expensive thing in the store is the one thing you like.
it was not the
dear.
most expensive thing, but it was expensive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Shiny things at Mardi Gras, I imagine, tends to
Shiny
be
things
very
at Mardi
expensive.
Gras. Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Well, Mardi Gras,
cool.
they make their money too off of the little trinkets and stuff they sell.
Mhm.
If it's not the alcohol, it's the trinkets, the collectibles.
Yeah.
Let's say thanks to Devin's playlist.
Yeah, let's say thanks. Thank you, Devin.
Thank you, Devin, for keeping us sane and organized.
Anybody who's watching who isn't already subscribed, subscribe to Devin Cutting. There are playlists of all of the writing sprints that are going on. There's one for every day. It's very cool. If you want to participate in more streams like this, it's how I found all of these wonderful people.
Like and subscribe to Jack's channel too.
Oh yeah, supposed to say that. Christina says, all I can think is How I Met Your Mother when Robin drinks absinthe, floats across the street very aloof and says, we're a dream a baby's having. I haven't seen it, so I
haven't seen it, but I would not put it past.
Mine is Euro Trip, when the brother and the sister twins are making out, and the one friend is sitting at the table talking to the floating fairy, and he's like, "This absinthe ain't nothing. I don't see shit." and he knuckle chucks the fairy, and then he looks over, and the brother sister twins are making out on the dance floor. Euro Trip is a good movie if you haven't seen it.
I haven't. Yeah, no, my reference point is Moulin Rouge.
You would die if you saw Euro Trip, because it's the Americans. It's America's version of what a European trip would be like. So they have hot soccer hooligans and all of it. It's hilarious. You've got to watch it.
I feel like my reaction to that movie could be a stream.
Actually, I have a lot of friends in Europe. They did it's not dissing you. if that's what
oh no, it's I'm not thinking that I will be frightfully offended. I'm thinking that I could contribute the corresponding stereotypes of American tourists.
Yes.
Because there are some.
Oh, they definitely make themselves the typical American tourists too. That's what's absolutely hilarious about it. They even try brownies at a Dutch bakery, and think that they're high, and they think that they're on weed, and the guys are like, "These are not hash brownies. This is a Dutch bakery." And he's like standing up on top of the table like, "I'm high. I can see ghosts. I can see." It's hilarious.
We've got Ginny Noble. Lovely to see you. And yeah, same Moulin Rouge. Yes. Love that movie. Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
The
It
original
is.
Broadway version or the new American Hollywood version? Or
I've
both?
only seen the movie.
Oh, you need to see it on Broadway. It's
I would love to
amazing.
see very many things on Broadway.
One
I
day.
Yeah,
One
Hades
day.
Town. I
You're
want to
still
see
young.
Hades Town so bad.
Oh, you know what? I haven't seen that one. I saw
It's
Wicked.
so good. It's so good.
Ooh.
It's the myth of Orpheus and Eurydice retold in a sort of a quasi depression era blues sort of setting.
Ooh.
It's really interesting. All of the music is sort of is blues.
Nice.
On the road to hell, there was a railroad track. Yeah, it's a really good show. Yeah, we got people are saying hello to each other. CB is back. Was adulting, putting lunch in the oven. Yeah, we were starting to talk musicals. So
So you're all good.
yeah, don't think I've seen Moulin Rouge. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. The movie is Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman, and it's quite. It's spectacular, spectacular.
I saw Les Mis on Broadway.
Yeah, I've seen it in the West End. It was very good.
One day more.
Yeah, I lived in London for a year, but I was broke as shit, so I didn't get to see.
So you could relate.
I didn't get to see a lot of shows. Book of Mormon in January. Yeah, Book of Mormon is supposed to be very good. I haven't heard much of the. Wow,
Is
we
that a
run through the
musical?
musical references this morning.
Yes, we
I
have.
am noticing that we're starting to run on, so I'm gonna set us up with another sprint.
I need coffee and a cigarette. Because I
Okay.
haven't even done that yet this morning.
Well, you can take this sprint for coffee and cigarette
Oh,
purposes, or whatever other self care you need. Okay. So I don't usually do accounting, but I think we should do accounting. Who wants to do it?
3, 2, 1, sprint! You have to actually press the tab. There you go.
It's not making any noise. What's going on? Hello.
Hello.
Did the noise not at the end of that one not work for you? Because I couldn't hear it.
I could hear it just fine.
Oh, don't know what happened there. Some setting I have clicked, no doubt.
I could hear it. I was dancing along to it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I've just turned it down my end. Just wanna make sure that I haven't done anything wildly strange with it. So, how was your sprint?
You are all forewarned. I have coffee. You are forewarned. I have coffee.
I am trying to do a voiceover, but it's not detecting the right input. And I'm looking for in iMovie where to set my input. It's detecting this mic for dictation.
It might be actually under your settings, not iMovie on your Mac.
You might be right.
If you go under your Mac and you go audio input or mic input, whatever, it might be under there, not iMovie.
It says input microphone. So
yeah, but which microphone? Is it the
this microphone?
That one?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be able to hear me.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't know how it works in a Mac, but sometimes Windows has there's a setting where an app like Chrome,
specifically
can
will
take
select
complete control of a particular device. If you have that on a Mac somewhere, it's probably
StreamYard does that.
Idea to make sure that's switched off.
Or switch.
StreamYard does that because you have to make sure that
robotic.
Robotic?
Yeah, we had a bit of a garble issue.
Oh,
I became a robot.
We're back now. Yeah, I may have become a robot for everybody else. Yeah, we just had one of those lag things. Oh, that's good. It's a good start. We've got some people in the chat saying things. So Andrea.
Good morning. Good morning.
I've got having a little lag problem. Yep. Andrea says, I feel you, CB. This is my free time. Kids are at school. Yeah.
Oh, see, don't parents love school for this one reason? Well, ones that stay home.
Yeah. Yeah. Tricky to work when there's a kid in the house. CBU saying, seen the Book of Mormon, I think, in West End in Edinburgh. Cool.
I've seen the West End.
Yeah.
For the attempt of adulting.
Yeah, here for it. We are all here for people trying to adult.
I think adulting is a misguided term because I'm an adult. I don't feel like an adult. I hate adulting. I think adult should be a, cuss word.
I have a slightly different take in that most of the things that people call adulting are actually executive function.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the executive function, the bit out at the front of the brain that looks after everything else and
well, I wasn't executive for God knows how many years, so maybe that's why I also hate adulting.
Well, I mean, it kind of tracks because most people's sort of your prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed until you're 25, so those skills aren't going to be as good as they're going to be until fairly late on in your development.
So you mean we don't even grow up? Our brains don't even grow into adulting until after we're expected to do adulting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's lots of variation. Some people, like any cognitive ability, some people are better at it than others.
And men's brains mature at like 30, don't they? Like women are like 24, 25, and men is like 30?
No.
Isn't there
no.
a age between the men and the women?
No.
Really?
No. There
I
is
swear
there
it was.
isn't actually a gross difference there
They must have
that I
changed
have
that
ever.
because I was taught very differently.
Where
I was
though?
taught that men actually mentally develop slower than women, and it's just
Where were you taught that?
psychology in college.
Weird. I've never come across
But that was
that
also
as.
20 years ago. So
Yeah. I mean, behavior wise, probably depends on your cultural context.
maybe. And
But yeah, there's not that
that's
big
crazy.
a sex difference in brain development in
Wow, I kind
most
of want to yell at
things.
some people because I was taught the entire time that men actually develop mentally a little bit slower than women. They mature
To the
because
internet.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say because their hormones, women's hormones, develop earlier than men, which
Uh
causes a delay in the mental development for both sexes.
there's also a lot of intra-individual variation on when puberty
Yes.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's
women
only about
can
2.
start as
It's
early as
only
8,
What'd you
yeah.
find,
but
Slut?
It's mostly referring to puberty.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't think
I
it
mean, I could buy developmental differences at like at sort of middle childhood.
have discovered. Okay, so scientists at Newcastle University in the UK have discovered that girls tend to optimize brain connections earlier than boys. The researchers conclude that this may explain why females generally mature faster in certain cognitive and emotional areas than males during childhood and adolescence.
That's what I was taught. That's what I was taught.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
it's
that
not like
doesn't mean that.
25 to 30. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's not
like
25,
This
30,
is
but
this is like 8 to 13 kind of age.
yeah.
The
really? 'Cause
differences
they
of
told me it was during puberty.
yeah,
Mhm.
puberty happens then. I mean, unless you do it twice. I'm doing puberty
Me.
now.
Unless you do it
Puberty
twice. Yeah.
happened for me at like 16.
Yeah,
Seriously, I hit
yeah,
puberty way late.
yeah,
Way
and
late.
and
I used
that
to
is
get
a
picked on for
and
it.
that is a thing that puberty is hugely varied. Like there are some
And
there are
doesn't
some
the
people who
initiation of puberty also create the mental synapse changes that are required for having children, raising a family, and that's why there's a little bit of slower developmental based on.
it's not that simple though.
We need some doctors. We need some doctors up in here. We got some questions.
Yeah,
We
I
need
mean,
people
I
to
will.
debate on this.
If you like, I can go away and poke a Google Scholar and get a slightly better answer. But
No,
yeah,
I
I'd
would just
say
love to have this. I would love for you and I to have two doctors on and have this debate. I just think it would be an awesome conversation.
why does it have to be doctors though? This is literally my area.
Because we from our experience growing up in our world dealing with psychology, and then two people that have a degree that are supposed to know exactly how it
doing
goes.
a doctorate in psychology.
I know, but like that's why I was saying the debate would be awesome because I'm a nobody. I ain't got shit. You're on your way to getting it, and then we'd have two people that had doctorates. That conversation could probably be a really good debate.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
And
if
you
there's
learn a
anybody
lot.
in the chat who knows these things, yeah, I would
And
be
you
very
and
happy
you
to have more people on the
I'm
chat, more
I
people
love
on the stream.
conversation because I have no problem being told I'm wrong and being
Yeah.
proven and like shown that I'm right because it's the only way I'm
Yeah.
going to learn. On the day of discovery, it's what I do. But that's why I would love it. I would love for one of these doctors to be like, no, you are an idiot. Whatever you were taught is wrong. This is what's right. And then be able to debate it and be like, well, this is my personal experience. This is what Jack knows. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're rambling.
Yeah. We are a little bit. Yeah. From to the best of my knowledge, yes, there are brain changes in adolescence, and they are impacted by puberty. But that does not necessarily mean that automatically anybody who is further along in puberty is going to be more developed because there are other things happening at the same time.
Yeah, because it also depends on what their family or social circles is like. Do they have a
Yeah, and all sorts of other genetic factors. There's
were they
what their
smart to
school is like.
begin with, or did they have developmental problems from the start?
Yeah, there are a whole load of things that can feed into it. But yeah, no, if anybody wants to chat brain stuff at any point, I'm very happy to
We should
have more
we
people
should
on
host a
for
stream. We should
yeah
host a stream where it's just
talking
brain
brain
talk.
stuff.
Brain talk.
Yeah,
Let's break
yeah.
this stuff down. Let's share our experiences. Let's figure out, because I've always called it mental difference, not mental illness. And I was under psychiatric care for schizophrenia since I was 7. So I
Yeah.
have literally run the gambit. And then I went to college and took psychological studies for 3 years. So
Mm-hmm.
it was like, yeah, I would love to talk to some doctors and be able to be like, look, this is your experience. Here's my experience. Let's figure this out. Maybe in these conversations, we can make some revelations for people and help them.
We could certainly have a think about that. We'll have a chat about it after the stream. Jenny says, love the timer, reminds me of retro video games. Oh, thank you. You can find the timers on my channel if you want to use them for anything else. Be warned that the jingle at the end that I have currently is licensed by Epidemic Sound through Canva. So if you use it on a stream, you might get dinged for copyright. They only claim rather than strike, but it's a thing to be aware of if anybody is using it. But obviously for your own use, it's fine. Andreas got 709 words and heard the sound. 709, good going. That is some good work there.
Wow.
Christina Poe says, I have had a cup of coffee, done some light yoga, and cleaned my kitchen this morning, all before Toddlersaurus wakes up. Feeling good about my progress so far. And so you should. You have got lots of things.
Toddlersaurus isn't up yet? I'm impressed. You go, girl.
You've got a lot done. You've got a lot done. Okay. So we are currently at 5-2, and I got a question. Should we keep going?
I should probably drop out and actually concentrate on doing this voiceover and troubleshooting it.
I can probably hang out for one more sprint.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for being here, Sako. Do you wanna do a little outro before you go?
Sure. Howdy, neighbors. I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Cass Voigt. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer. And sometimes I combine those 3 things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Cass Voigt. And it's not just me talking, it's a bunch of other author tubers who have something to say on the topic as well. And you should drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Thank you very much.
I'll catch you guys later.
Bye,
Catch you
Sako.
on the flip side. Bye, Sako.
On the flip side.
Right.
Now you know why she says it all the time.
Yeah.
So are we ready for another sprint?
Or
should you catch up on comments? Because wow.
Yeah, I think I was just. Oh wow, I'm
we
not.
Got some people popping in.
So many. Oh, I didn't see that. CB says
you are about 50 or 60 comments behind.
Wow. CB says 373 words. Well done, CB. Jenny got coffee, and that's about it. Still trying to wake up. That is fine. That is utterly valid, especially if you are the other side of the Atlantic. It's still quite early. Christina says, I like the alarm beepies, makes me want to dance. Awesome. I'm so glad you like it.
Too.
Andrea says, finished scene 5 and started scene 6. Yes. Go you. Go you.
That's what I'm going to be doing this sprint, is getting some words out.
On the same app should be the setting of the hardware. No Mac user, by the way. Oh, this was for Sako. I hope she saw it.
Well, I don't think it's on her hardware.
Yeah.
Lunch out of the oven. Nice.
Tasty.
You are so behind. You've got about 30 comments.
Oh my god. Yeah, it wasn't scrolling for me. Oh no. Weird Al's UHF is free on YouTube right now. I know what I'm doing today. Ooh. I like Weird Al. Should do that.
No wonder we all suck. What? We don't suck. Keep going. Just keep going.
I think this was about the brain thing and not being fully mature till like 25.
Oh yeah,
males mature
they were
slower.
joining into the conversation.
Socially, I think women forced to mature faster because you start menstruation, your body worries about pregnancy start to grow. Yeah.
I have to agree.
Pregnancy, not just biologically but socially, does.
No, most of my friends, because I was a late bloomer. I was on Ritalin up until they finally took me off of Ritalin for a summer, and everything happened. But I remember my friends. They were far more body conscious and socially conscious before I was, because of the stuff that was happening to them. So I completely agree with that statement.
Yeah.
I was kind of really innocent and naive, and my friends
the thing is though, I don't know whether ADHD was an accurate diagnosis for you, or if you feel differently about that now.
No, they couldn't diagnose me as schizophrenic, even though they told me in private, because I was so young. And I guess there's rules against diagnosing somebody that young. And this was also 40 years ago.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
So
if they
could go back and redo it, they would have never had me on Ritalin. They would have diagnosed me as schizophrenic, and they would have worked with me that way. But no.
Yeah, I mean, because schizophrenia as well, that both of those disorders affect executive function. So you are always going to be a bit behind the curve, even if.
And then they started me in school early.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, that doesn't executive function, not the same as cognitive function overall. Well, you can have one behind and one ahead.
Here was their reasoning 40 years ago. They decided to put me in school early because I was so hyper. I was so hyperactive that they thought I'd be hyperactive in learning.
Yeah.
And it didn't compute. It didn't go that way. I struggled. My mom even admits that they should have waited. But I also was so tall. I was so tall. And nowadays they don't take that into consideration because they prevent bullying.
Back in the day, they used to say that you could go to school if you could do that.
Yep. If you were tall enough to be able to do that, you could go to school. Yep.
Yeah.
And that was part of my problem is I was as tall as a 6-year-old when I was 3.5. So I fit right into the kindergartners at 3.5, 4 years old. And then after that, it was just, I did well enough to move on to the next grade. But looking back on it, my mom even says, like, we should have held you back.
Yeah.
But
the other thing that was possibly at play is the reason why Ritalin might delay puberty is if the person, a lot of people have the side effect of not eating as much.
Oh, what do you think?
You were underweight. I mean, you're quite a slender person.
No, anybody who knew me growing up, I was always, not only was I super hyperactive, still on Ritalin, I still ran around like a chicken with my head cut off. But I mean,
if ADHD was not your problem, Ritalin does not help.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the hard part of it. Ritalin did help. My grades went from D's and F's to B's and C's. My grades did improve because it allowed me to sit still long enough in class to actually absorb the information.
Okay, so it helped in a bit.
It helped in a way. It was. The problem is they didn't. I was telling my doctor that I was seeing and talking to angels. My best friends my invisible friends were real. Like I wasn't playing all by myself down in the canyon, and there was nothing she could do about it because I was 8 years old and I'm telling her this, and she's like, but the Ritalin worked. So it was like, they put a Band-Aid on it. pretty much.
Yeah.
Because of rules and
Yeah.
regulations and what federal, whatever people up in offices decide that is best for people that are actually going through it, we had to
Yeah.
put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, the US, and it's not so much federal as the sort of the kind of the psychiatric, like the
Medical.
APA,
Oh yeah, we
the
almost sued Kaiser.
organizations over there have a very different approach
Well,
to what we have here.
We almost sued Kaiser because
That's fair.
Kaiser's psych was what I was under from age 7 to 35, and I committed suicide. And I died. I was in their care. How many years? Going to doctors twice a week on all the medication that you could put me on. And what happened?
Yeah.
The one thing they were supposed to prevent happened after that many years. So it was just kind of like we actually threatened Kaiser because we were like, that's why Kaiser kind of shifted and changed their psychological program, because it was like, look, I am proof your system doesn't work. And we can let everybody know.
Yeah. Yeah, we tend to be a lot more conservative with medication over here. Part of it is being a public system. Part of it is just European.
You name the psych med, I have been on it.
Medical culture is very different. Like, yeah, I do have ADHD, but nobody tested me for it until I was 30.
Well, and they test for it here at 9 and they diagnose wrong.
I mean, yeah, I mean, it is misdiagnoses are always going to happen.
The problem is they don't listen to the kids. Yeah. At 9 years old, I told my doctor the exact same thing that I would tell my doctor now. And they didn't believe me. But as an adult, they believe me. I was like, and I've said that to doctors. Why didn't they believe me when I was 10? Why did they believe my mother over me? Yeah. And this is
just just so we don't end up losing the comments entirely.
Everybody was enjoying the conversation, so
I know everybody's enjoying the conversation, but there are probably people talking back to you is the thing. Research is different. Yeah, absolutely. There's been a whole lot of psych research in the last few decades. CB was saying personal experience, puberty hit at 8.
I'm going backwards because they all came in. Andre has ADHD. Diana has ADHD. CB has dyslexia. We all have diagnoses.
Yeah,
but we are also amazingly creative people. And that's the one thing. That's why I want to change the conversation. That's why I want to change it. It's not mental illness. It's mental difference. We think differently. Our brains are wired and programmed differently. Why is that an illness?
That is an interesting subject and a big one.
Like, that's my question. Everybody's brain is wired differently. Some people's are wired kind of similarly, but why is anything different considered an illness? And what are we basing this illness off of? Where's the normal that we're basing this off of?
Yeah, here's the thing.
Because we all know that normal is not normal anymore.
Here's the thing. The reason why it gets sort of constructed that way is that is one of the few ways that our society has deemed it acceptable to help people, if we call it an illness, because I mean, even if we weren't going to call sort of what happened to you an illness, you needed some help with dealing with those experiences, but we don't really have another framework for it.
But that's why I'm saying, why can't we structure it as a difference? And that way, because I'm different, if I feel like I need to go get help, I can go get help. But it doesn't mean that I'm dying.
Yeah.
Because that's my definition. Like, I used to look at my mom when they tell me, oh, you have a mental illness. I'd be like, Mom, am I dying? And she'd be like, no, honey, it's not that kind of illness. And I'd be like, but it's an illness. I'm sick. And that created such a negative connotation for me growing up. I felt like I was going to die eventually from my mental illness. I wonder if this had a little bit of instigation with the whole thing that ended up happening.
Yeah, but I can see how that might.
We've got to change the psychology and the way that we're creating
Are you
people.
familiar with the neurodiversity movement?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would very much support that as an idea.
I very
Yeah.
much had to come to terms with that in DBT and cause therapy, that this could have been a self-realization, self-manifested and realized creation, because of the fact that when I was younger, I thought I was going to die from my mental
See
illness.
now why you specifically want to debate doctors. Yeah.
Do you know how many doctors and psychologists I have been through, that I have walked out on, that I've chewed out with, and then I've also gotten on my knees and thanked? I have run my gamut with doctors as much as I've run my gamut with medical medications.
Yeah.
And I have a few things I'd like to discuss.
Yeah. Diane, new studies found the average man doesn't become fully emotionally mature till age 43. And that's way later than women. Women are mature at age 32. I would like to see how that study operationalized emotionally mature.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just made me think about my ex-husband. I'm sorry.
I started puberty out at 8. I'm very much a terrible adult. Yeah. I started puberty at maybe 9.
See, I didn't start till I was, they took me off of the Ritalin the summer between my 15th and 16th birthday. And that's when I pretty much started puberty. Because I grew literally 6 inches in 3 months.
Yeah, you had your growth spurt. And you need a certain amount of weight on you to do that. But that will also impact your brain development in other ways. If generally in this country, if somebody is that underweight, we take them off.
Oh no, that's the thing though. They always monitored my weight. I was see, the funny thing is though, is I remember being exactly 75 pounds from age 7 to 14. And then at 14, I went up to 115 pounds. And then I was that until 26. And then that's when they shifted my medication and I gained 60 pounds in 3 months. I was like, I grew 6 inches in 3 months and then I gained 60 pounds in 3 months. Correlation?
Yeah. Andrea says, don't think it's biology, also psychology. Yeah. I think it is too. Social environments are massively part of it. I'm just 42 years young woman. Yeah.
I'm a 40-year young. Yeah.
Yeah. My grandmother said that she was internally 27 till the day she died at 80 something. 39, we established I wouldn't be a good adult when I was about 9. So the best adults I know aren't good adults.
I was 7 when they established that. So
does having or not having siblings affect it?
I think it does.
I mean, psychologically, yeah. I mean, it depends on what you mean by maturity. Because
and it also
we're kind of talking about brain maturity. There is executive function. There's but there's also, you can have the capacity to do something, but not the opportunity. If your parents just want to keep the baby of the house young and you're living at home and they kind of want to protect you.
Or your sibling is not as mentally developed as you possibly are.
Yeah, I mean,
because they could be maturity-wise less, and you could be following a bad example.
Or you could be taking on more of a caretaker role.
Or learning lessons through those persons. See, it all depends on what type of learning you do.
There are so many variables.
Are you watch and then experience? Yeah.
You don't have siblings. Yeah, I have 2 younger siblings. I've part of the research I've done is developmental, and it's really hard to pick apart anything.
Andrea, sorry.
Anything in retrospect, because it's all happening at the same time, and it's very difficult, even with very large sample sizes, to be able to say, oh, it is this factor that did something, because there's always more factors.
Andrea just threw in a comment down at the bottom about that.
Yeah.
That lots of tests are based on straight white males. So autism wasn't diagnosed in women until a few years ago, and that's
Understudied
so,
populations are,
which is why I want to start this discussion, because the psychologists need to, like, whoever is running the psychological department of the world needs to wake up. They're not doing it right, and our world is proving it. Everybody, almost every single person I know is struggling from some sort of mental illness or mental difference, and it's just being covered up with medications. I'm sick of the moneymakers getting their pockets lined with all of us suffering.
Yeah, I can see that perspective. I might add, I quite like covering up some of my problems because it makes me more functional for 4 hours at a time.
I was able to go off all of the medication that they put me on for all those years and smoke what God grew for us naturally. And it has fixed everything for me. I'm not saying that we need to get rid of medication completely.
And for some people, that makes them psychotic.
True, but we need to readjust the thinking of it. You don't need to walk into a doctor and them just go, "Oh, well, let me go ahead and put you on this medication."
Yeah, that's a very American thing.
That's what we need to stop doing.
Yeah, and there are lots of places in the world that you can look to for that sort of example.
And when you tell them the medication isn't working, they go, "Okay, well, let's try a different medication." It's like, no, I need to talk. And I need somebody to actually talk to, and not somebody who's just going to sit there and go,
yeah,
yeah,
we've got a lot of
some doctors
neurodivergence in the chat here.
My last doctor, Bonnie,
least
that's why I loved
dyspraxia,
her, because she was
and dyscalculia. Yeah,
there was different psychologists. You have to find the right psychologist that works for you, and that's another argument I want to start having. Is you don't have to, just because they assign you a doctor, that doesn't mean that that's the person you have to figure out how to work with. You can
I'm not sure that there are very many people that are going to argue with you on that, or argue against you on that one.
You'd be surprised. I have a lot of clients who are like, "Well, I'm stuck. I can't change doctors." And I'm like, "Why not?" And they're like,
that's a different argument.
So,
because there's a shouldn't and there's a can't there. Because I don't think that very many people would.
Don't feel like your doctor's listening to you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to keep going to that doctor to try to figure out when eventually he's going to listen to you.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think very many people would argue with that in principle if you said, hey, should somebody, if they're feeling like they're not being listened to by their medical provider, change? Most people are going to, I don't think I've ever met anybody who would say, no, that is not a thing you should do. But when people are in that situation, they're like, but this is the only one who takes my insurance.
See, and that's why I argue it, because I think this is where we're going to have to differ between UK and
I mean, this is me trying to think about the American perspective.
Yeah, because in the American perspective, like Kaiser, if I could walk out of that doctor's office, go up to the front desk and say, "Give me a new doctor."
Yeah, not everybody
but not
has
Blue
that.
Cross. I know, but not Blue Cross. But that doesn't mean that you can't put a request through Blue Cross to get a new doctor. Every insurance has a way for you to walk away and get a new doctor if you don't feel like your doctor's listening to you. But that's also been a very big argument in America, because for a long time, people didn't feel like they could do that.
Yeah, and that's and the thing is, it's a barrier. If you are stressed, if you're exhausted, if you've got all of this stuff going on,
but
that's a very difficult thing to do.
But a lot of psych patients get locked in this mental, because they're so locked in their own mental that they forget that see, the other thing that I've come across is some patients don't even realize that their doctor's not even helping them anymore.
Mm.
And that their doctor,
that's definitely a thing.
And that they need to request a new doctor. And it's because they're lost in their own. Hey, Sako! They're lost in their own world. And that's why I want to start this conversation where if you don't feel like.
Same, Andrea. Same.
So slimness is not my thing.
Yeah. Didn't have that effect on me either.
Also, 40 years ago, Ritalin was made from methamphetamine and cocaine fillers. So I was basically on methamphetamine and cocaine
There's loads
until
of
they changed the
methylphenidate.
formula in, I think I was like, was it 18 or 19 when they changed the formula?
Weird.
Because yeah. So, and this is another reason why my doctor said that I don't have like I can smoke if when I was on the street and I did drugs, I was able to quit them right away because I had actually, yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, we could go into a whole chemical discussion on that I've had to
Mother
deal
was
with
told
too.
this was
So
UK in the 90s to just get on with it. Raising a child with a condition like Weaver syndrome, single parent, is definitely not easy. Oh, that sucks.
just get on with it. Oh God, I would want to backhand somebody with that.
Yeah.
Just get on with it. Come here. I'll get on with
Neuropsychiatrist
it.
of
Let
my
me tell
child.
you how I get on with it.
Yeah, psychiatrist of my child said your kid have ADHD, but if someone wants to give them meds at 4, run. Nah. In most places, we don't die. I mean, certainly in Europe, we don't diagnose until 7, and
I don't
wouldn't
believe I
consider
should
meds
go on
until
medication
quite
at
some
7.
time after that.
Yeah, but I agree with that. I don't believe that I should have
Yeah,
been on
no, I
medication
think
at 7.
that's solid advice.
I think I should have diagnosed me at 7, probably worked with me with counseling for a year to see if that would work, then think about putting me on medication. Like, can we try to fix the situation before we just
CB, that
medicate them?
sucks.
My mother was told likely to go mainstream school. Should have
Told
been.
I was lucky to go to mainstream school. I should have been homeschooled. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah,
That's BS.
yeah. And one problems with the standard. Yeah, we've looked at
We covered
that.
that, yeah.
Christina's doing some school stuff.
Yeah,
Diane's dropping
we were
out.
gonna do a sprint, but
Yeah, yeah. I think we might have to. We might just have to wind up because
yeah, which is okay.
yeah.
This is a good conversation. I'm
Biggest
sorry.
problem with the NHS is you're assigned a doctor and you don't get a choice. Actually, you can ask to change with the NHS. I worked for the NHS for several years. Yep, you might have to go through PALS, that's Patient Advocacy and Liaison Service. You can usually, if you Google the name of your local trust, you can go through them. But yeah, if you have a problem, like, make a complaint.
There's got to be a way to do it.
There is a way. Now, sometimes if you're in a small area with a low population and you're looking for something specialist, it ain't there.
You're gonna have to travel.
Unless, well, the thing is with the NHS is a public service, and it tends to be quite location based. There is NHS choices.
Okay.
So if it's somebody that you're going through your GP, ask about NHS choices, because that allows you more choice with where you go. Doctor said my mother was lucky I wasn't there because I'd have Hulk smash. Yeah, that's fair, because that sucks. Yeah. But yeah, I would say, don't be put off. Try going through PALS.
Yeah, don't give up. That's one thing that I struggled with, was I got to some doctors who didn't care, and then it sent me on a spiral because I felt like nobody cared. And don't go that spiral. Fight for yourself. Yeah. Self-advocacy is one of the patient advocacy, self-advocacy. Yeah. That's two terms that I had to learn and fight for.
Yeah. I would say that the only thing I'd kind of, the only argument I could find to pick with you is just a sort of, sometimes you can get in a situation where kicking off is not your best option.
Well, there's a way to kick off, and then there's a way to be assertive.
Yeah.
And you've got to be
picking your battles can be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Knowing when to push a little and then to resist a little, because there is a give and take with it. I mean, if you want to change doctors, you've got to be able to work with them and not just base demands. But at the same time, you don't have to be a pushover and just take whatever is offered to you.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to learn.
Yeah. Andrea says, "How old are you, Jack?" I'm 32.
He's a
I
baby. No, I'm just kidding.
I won't go to the
Necessary.
doctor unless it's necessary. Yeah, I mean, I think like many people, it's a thing you'd rather avoid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was hospitalized for. I was
passed.
literally
I was
recovering off
passed
of
around. CB says I was passed around like a parcel when trying to get a psychologist last time. So now I'm like, what's the point? Yeah, it's yeah, it is
And that's kind of
tough.
what happened with me and Kaiser until I showed up at the office and then demanded a. See, Kaiser had something that was called a patient advocate. That was actually a separate office that would fight for the patient.
Yeah,
And basically, when we started getting the runaround, we got a. That's it was when I got a patient advocacy that they like everybody in the office kind of like, oh, what? Wait,
yeah,
oh crap. Okay, maybe we
yeah,
need to do something about this. You know,
yeah.
it's you gotta
Pals
learn
that I
how
was
to
talking
fight.
about is kind of it's like that. There's
You gotta
also
learn how to fight.
mental health advocates, disability advocates that are sort of uh, they're charity things in the UK and Ireland usually. But they're people who can do that as like an outside third party to help you fight for your rights. Uh, Andrea says, "You're kidding me. You look younger than that by a lot." Yeah. Yeah. I think probably because I'm trans, so I'm quite early in my transition. I started hormones in April of this year, so I in some ways look like a teenager.
All over again.
Spotty.
Get to go through it all over again. Well, honey,
Yeah.
that doesn't go away. I never had acne as a kid, and I have
Hi,
adult acne
Andrea.
evidently. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
have to actually get going. That's actually a perfect segue
Oh,
because
yeah.
my roommate's leaving for work. I got to go take care of the puppers.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah, that's legit.
I mean,
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
our
CB.
conversation, but
It is difficult when you kind of you're falling through that particular crack. I would say if you are still having troubles, get on to Dyspraxia UK. They are actually quite helpful. They've got a helpline. They can point you in the right direction on a lot of things. Anyway, so you need to get off of this stream. So before you get off of this stream, plug yourself.
hi, everybody. I am Kibby Rose. If you haven't met me before, if you don't know who I am, I am Kibby Roselyn. Come check out my channel if you want. I do streams on Mondays and Wednesdays. I am a psychic and a writer, so I do both. And obviously, I enjoy conversations such as this topic today with mental diagnosis and everything else. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Jack's channel, and I will definitely see you guys somewhere sometime next time. And on the flip side.
All right, peace out, Kibby.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye. Okay, so yeah, that has been our stream. Yeah, sorry we kind of got a little bit off track there, but I hope that you enjoyed the conversation. That was interesting. We've got some cross Atlantic dialogues going on there. Maybe Kibby and I will do a stream at some point, specifically about that. In the meantime, I've been Jack Byron. Thank you for coming and watching my stream. Um, I stream here every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 o'clock noon UTC or GMT. And that is 7 a.m. Eastern. I'll learn some additional time zones eventually and have a more worked out outro. But this is how you know I'm still a baby YouTuber. Anyway, like, subscribe, ring the bell, come and see me again on Thursday. Follow Devin Cutting for more streams from other people. I will catch you all later.